What's up, guys? How we doing? We're basically on time. We basically made it. Just
It's
9
not. It's not
minutes
our fault this time.
late or something like that. Yeah. It's good to see everybody. Good to see you, Anthony, the Ant-Man in the house. Training
I feel like
camp
it's
is
been.
here.
I feel like it's been way too long. But I mean, I feel like a kid on Christmas now. Training camp right around the corner. This is as good as it gets.
It is. It is. And for people that are questioning, I saw you on the chat, saw you in the comments. We appreciate you. All is good. I was recovering my account. Those things happen. Thankfully, it didn't get hacked, so it's not like a full-blown recovering the account. But for some reason, of all times, I mean, I was probably going to be a minute or two late anyway. But then it's like, hey, let's verify that it's you and all these pass keys and everything else that, of course, I haven't set up. We're here, and training camp is also here, like you said, Anthony. Training camp officially, for all intents and purposes, it counts as starting today, but the practices don't take place until tomorrow. First practice, Nick Sirianni, I believe, as you were telling me, 9:30 is the interview for Nick Sirianni to kick it off tomorrow.
Yeah. So it seems like from what I've heard, unfortunately won't be in attendance, but Nick Sirianni has a presser at 9:30, and then practice is scheduled to start at 10 o'clock. So a nice early start for the Eagles, and hopefully we just get our timelines flooded with news about players, who's practicing, who's not practicing, and updates on everything else.
There we go. We cannot wait because in a way, it's flown by, and then in another part of looking at it, it's taken forever. So I've seen those comments. I also feel the same way because there's been ebbs and flows of like, we're here. We made it. So it now I think it feels like it went quickly because it's here, but it's always the interim, the lull, the like past month and a half since minicamp of going like, oh my gosh, this thing is at a crawl and there's just nothing to go. But the Super Bowl rings helped to get us through it. A little bit of hype here and there. Those things were like, I guess, better than expected, but like to be expected at the same time because you knew that those were just going to be an absolute rock. But how about those Super Bowl rings? Those were insane.
I mean, it was like I had high expectations. Like just thinking how big they were going to be, which they were. But then the fact that they had the wings that popped out, I was just like, it's so over the top. My brother, who's a Giants fan, who I've talked about a ton of times, he was just like ripping me to shreds, calling it like the spinning rims of Super Bowl rings. But at the same time, an opposing fan complaining about a Super Bowl ring is like the lowest of the lows, right? That's just like the most loser behavior that somebody could have. So, I mean, I guess Giants fans have to cope in one way or another after seeing what Saquon Barkley did in his first year in Philadelphia. But yeah, I mean, the rings were amazing. And I feel like the offseason kind of flew by only because they played into February. And then obviously, like you said, you had the Senior Bowl, whatever, right after that. So there was never really too much of a lull outside of these last couple of weeks where in between like the draft and free agency and then this time. So, I mean, we were a little bit spoiled by obviously as deep of a postseason run as possible and then everything that's come along.
We were. Got the Super Bowl, got the rings, the celebration, everything there. By the way, I also did see some comments on this. This is the Slim Reaper shirt. So for people that are asking, you can kind of see it a little bit better there. But the Devontae Smith Slim Reaper shirt, there's a link down in the description. Check it out. Check out Die Hard Addicts. Shout out to them for the link there. But use code Philly Special, get 10% off on any shirt. There's a Saquon Barkley. It's actually, you've been Saquon Barkleyed. So the front is like the front side of Saquon. I could probably try to find a picture, but it's the front of Saquon jumping over the Jacksonville Jaguars player, who we won't name. We don't throw him out there. And then the back side of it. So it's pretty legit. Like if you're gonna wear a Saquon jersey, but they've got all sorts of stuff. Feel free to hit it up for those that are asking. Also got some exciting things planned for the stream here, of course, because we have giveaways all the time. There's some cool stuff that we got planned. I probably will spin for the Jahan Dotson signed jersey as well, but I think that you've got something up your sleeve.
So I don't know if I'm going to show who it is just yet, but if people have been in the live streams, I know I've missed a couple recently, so unfortunately schedules didn't work out, but I've been giving out some autograph cards of Eagles players, and I got a pretty good one, a guy that's a little bit of a teaser, a guy that's expected to make a big jump and compete for a starting job or be a first-time starter this year. So stick around in the stream, and we'll be giving out to somebody that's in the chat tonight.
There we go. So kudos to all you guys. Make sure to hit the like button, too, if you haven't. We appreciate that. Shout out to Real Talk with G, giving away 5 Philly Special Show memberships. There you go. Matthew got one, BMO, Careful, Shady, Ryan Solomon, and Ty Baby. Congratulations. You guys all got memberships. And also on that note for memberships, we're just getting everything out of the way here, but going to be doing giveaways for tickets to games to members. So that is the extra incentive for being a member of the channel. It's free to subscribe. You get access to tons of giveaways just as a subscriber, but the members, a little extra tip of the cap to you guys because the real ones and hanging out. I figure we could go really wherever with this thing to start out. The Andrew Mukuba, perhaps we got a couple signings to talk about. The one that we were waiting on for a while, and the Eagles officially signing Andrew Mukuba to his rookie deal. It felt like it was only a matter of time because we were waiting on second-round picks, and the dominoes started to fall, so to speak. And then the Eagles finally get it done. So I never personally had a big concern. I saw a lot of comments that were like, "Whew, okay, we got it. We took care of it," which is fine. You understand, yes, if it goes till the 11th hour or close to it, sometimes you get anxiety. I was of the mindset that it eventually would happen, but just for all intents and purposes, it's done, it's signed, sealed, delivered. Andrew Mukuba, Philadelphia Eagles, we're good.
Yeah, I felt like all along I was trying to keep everybody kind of calm because it seemed like some people were like panicking, like there was a legitimate chance that he was never going to play for the Eagles or something like that. But obviously that wasn't the case. It became apparent that after those first two picks in the second round signed those contracts for the fully guaranteed contracts, which were unheard of at the time, the rest of the agents and players were kind of holding out, trying to figure out if they can get the same thing or anything close to it because there was a huge gap in guarantees compared to previous contracts. So once one started signing, then it kind of, you saw the trickle down effect. And I think everybody's signed now from the second round, except for, I believe, the running back that has like the legal situation going on. So it was only a matter of time before Drew Mukuba signed his deal. I don't know if there have been any specifics revealed yet, at least that I've seen. I haven't seen as far as the full percentage guaranteed or whatnot that he got, but clearly he was going to be in the building. It was important for him to be there day one of training camp, obviously, because he is in a competition with Sidney Brown for that starting job. So for him to be there day one was very important, and gladly it got done.
There we go. Not that we're getting off on a tangent for other teams, but do the Bengals did they have anything done with Shamar? I know it's a first round pick, not a second, but just don't get your player signed.
I don't know. It feels like this entire offseason between them and the Cowboys, they've kind of just been trying to see who can handle contract negotiations and like their disgruntled star players worse. Because obviously Trey Hendrickson's nothing's been done with that, and he was apparently at the facility trying to negotiate, and then now he posted a picture, an Instagram story in Florida, like it's his home state, and then obviously the situation with Micah Parsons and the Cowboys doesn't look great from the outside. I know he showed up, but clearly doesn't seem happy with Jerry Jones. So both of those teams, I mean, it's a tough look for both of them.
It's every single time. You just like, we know how great Howie Roseman is. We know how great Jeffrey Lurie is, but then it's the extra perspective to go around the league and see some of those comments or quotes or whatever. And you're like, it can't be that difficult, but it's the gift that keeps on giving. And you're right. Like, there's the clip for people that did not see it, and kind of paraphrase or quotes there, but Micah Parsons, hey, look, at least he showed up, but saying that he's doing this for himself and his teammates, not for Jerry. Jerry obviously making the comment beforehand about like, well, just because we pay him, we've had guys that don't actually play the number of games, so he's taking shots at some of his best players, not getting the contract done there. Terry McLaurin is the other story that you put out there, does not show up to camp today for the Commanders. Who knows if they're going to get a deal done. Now, they will pay, I think you tweeted about this, they will pay an aging vet. They don't mind doing that. Von Miller, who has number 24, by the way. I've got to ask you that because you're all about the jersey numbers.
Disgusting.
24 for a pass rusher?
I mean, I think Jadeveon Clowney wore the same number or something similar on either the Ravens or somebody else like that. I mean, I guess they can make it work, but it's just, he tried to say he's honoring Champ Bailey, and it's something, I don't know, just a bigger edge rusher in 24. Just nothing makes sense. I'm all for the New Jersey number rules, and I like seeing defensive players in single digits and things like that. But some of these choices, and I joked about it on Twitter, starting like a jersey number consulting agency of sorts, but just some of these choices just don't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, you probably could have a business there, quite honestly, because we were texting about that. But the 24 doesn't make sense. There's a number of those, like we mentioned. Jahan Dotson, just on the note of jersey numbers and changes did change to number 2. We had that a while back, but going to be giving away that signed Jahan Dotson jersey. So that'll be for someone coming up later here, maybe in, I don't know, 30-ish minutes, something like that. But we'll spin for somebody. That was on the previous video. So if you didn't catch the Jahan Dotson interview, go check that out and get you in for the giveaway there that we'll draw. Shout out to Alex here for the 2. Appreciate that. Says, what's up with JD slimmed down looking like JC, Jalen Carter? I mean, Jordan Davis looks good. He's in the best shape of his life again at the start of training.
I feel like literally this same exact time last year, or maybe we just texted about it or something like that. It's like it's August or close to August. That means that any NFL player is just going to say that they're in the best shape of their life. And obviously, Jordan Davis looks great. It's a good sign. But at the same time, it's like we always see this. It's the first photos from training camp. It's like, oh, this guy really slimmed down, or this guy looks like he put on weight and looks better. Looks like he added muscle. So I don't know. It's hard to really take that too seriously at this point because it feels like it happens every year. But obviously, Jordan Davis, one of the criticisms is that he needed to drop weight so he can play better longer, even though the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl might have been his 2 best games of the year as a pass rusher. So I don't really understand that knock on him. But I just think, obviously, it's a promising sign, but we'll see if it actually transfers to the football field.
He's doing the Peloton. He's doing the Peloton workouts, getting a little bit extra. So, I mean, I'm hopeful. Vic Fangio mentioning it a little bit during minicamp also. It's not a bad thing, but like you say, it's the constant every single time. Hey, JD's in good shape. He's in the best shape of his life. We're hopeful here. Can he continue that? You know, but he did do better from the second half of the season last year. Whenever we were talking about the NFC champ, or well, not just the NFC Championship, but the second half of the last season, and you did that breakdown of his pressure rate and his effectiveness. So that was good there. I don't know if it's connection on my side or your side, but I'm seeing you very blurry. I can still hear you, okay. But it just FY, it's
it happened on a recent Giants podcast that I joined, so maybe I should try backing out and coming back, see if I can reset some stuff and come back.
That works.
If anything, I don't want to way down the stream with my poor connection. We've got a little bit of rain and whatnot here, but I'll try and figure it out.
Okay. All right. Cool. I was just gonna let you know. We'll see maybe in a bit. Cool. See if this works here. We'll get Anthony back here in just a second. I don't know if it was just on my side or if you guys were noticing the same thing, but 1 second. Anthony will return. In the meantime, John, appreciate the 10 bomb. Let's go. Says, yeah, that number means he's just happy to have a job for Von Miller. I would say so. He was just trying to get paid, just trying to prolong the inevitable. He's close to retirement, you know. He had one good year. He had some decent pressure rate. I think it was 17.9%. He can make some plays. Von Miller can, but yeah, I mean 24. It's also there's an argument to be made too. It's like Slim Pickens, you know, he gets there late, not going to take some, but he's also Von Miller. Like if he wanted a different number, you don't think he can go to somebody else and be like, "Hey, bro, I want." You know, name the number, and that the rookie, the second year player, the no name guy is going to be like, oh sure, yeah, here you go, take it, you know. Or he could pay, you know, they pay the guys a little bit of cash on the side, like here, I'll take the number from you. He could have easily done that, but 24. Let's go, Corey, the 40th birthday stream. I forgot about that. That was coming around the corner. Has it been 3 weeks since? I think you said it was 3 weeks. Has it been 3 weeks since you brought that up? Happy birthday to you. Let's go. Did I hope you got like tickets to an Eagles game or something. Like that's got to be big. Come on now. Like a big birthday outing? Anything? Alex, $6 million with incentives to get up to $10 million is crazy for Vaughn. Well, the Commanders are the Washington Geriatrics this year. They might change it. That's more likely, I think, than changing it back to the old name, although that's a whole other story that I won't bring up. All right, I'm checking to make sure. Connection. There we go. Got the happy birthday wishes to Kramer. Oh, there we go. Bought a retractable golf simulator. Let's go. I very much endorse that. Anything golf related, so you guys know me. Big about the golf. Jen, not the Washington Geriatrics? Oh, good. Leaving the seashell. Nice night out. Casper, the season will be test of defending the Lombardi. Ain't nobody just taking anything. I'm so ready for the season already. I am as well, man. How many days are we? I thought I saw it the other, like 40. Was it 44? How many days are we away from that game? It's not very many. We're getting close. First game against Dallas, start the defense. Ian, yes, Washington retirement home. Corey, the goal is to go to camp. I have not sent that follow-up email yet. I need to. We were told that we could, obviously. You were there. So we'll see. But that is the hope, but going to try to. All right, as we're waiting on Anthony to reboot and get started or get back on here. I think I've got the... Yeah, we can jump onto this one here. The Eagles making one of the signings. They had a couple different ones, but in case anybody did not see it. Let's see. I think I've got... Well, let's see if this works. Hold up. There we go. It's better at least. Eagles, Ogbo, Okoronkwo. Can never really say that name correctly, but sign in there. Let me see if I can zoom out. 1 second. There. All right, technical difficulties because I was telling some people before. We swapped to a different device, so it changes the whole stream software, which makes me have to reset up the whole preferences. So, it's first one of the new season, basically. We're getting the kinks worked out. But yes, some depth at the edge was signed, brought in. A veteran, 30 years old. Had 3 sacks with the Browns last year. Has 17 career sacks. There you go. You see that there, including 7.5 over the past two seasons. And we'll see. I mean, it never hurts. Got some edge depth. There's also interior defensive line. Oh. Did D-Mac say 43 days, 23 hours, and 19 minutes? Is it exactly to that? So I'm sure somebody's got the counter there. All right, hey, hold up. I think we got Anthony back. Let's see if this worked. There we go.
Hello.
You're back. We can hear you. We can see you. I think we're good. It's better. It's much better than it was.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Sorry.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully I fix it. If not, I got to call Verizon and figure it out.
It's sometimes. Well, I was having some issues with swapping over to the view on the tweet as well. So I was telling people about the changing devices and all that. But
it's all good.
We're working through it.
Sorry, everybody. Listen, this is preseason for us too, right?
It is, yeah. We're working out the kinks. Corey has his 40th birthday, so we're also giving the shout out to Corey there.
Happy 40th. It's a big milestone.
Heck yeah. Garrett with the 10 bomb says, what did you think about Jaden Daniels getting put above Jalen in quarterback rankings? He's good, but it's getting annoying watching one-year guys getting put in the top 5 every year.
It's just like the shiny new toy, right? I mean, last year at this time, it was the same thing, but with CJ Stroud. And then we saw things kind of fell apart around him, and his offensive line was awful. But at the same time, it's just like whatever's the newest is going to be the biggest grab and biggest thing for attention. Because obviously the media's figured out, and I've tweeted out about this, that whenever you kind of downplay Jalen Hurts or kind of poo-poo on whatever he's done, that's a great way to bring in clicks and impressions and views and everything else. So I mentioned it at the time when Jalen Hurts was number 9 on that list. And then I don't think it was a coincidence that basically every show on ESPN that day was about how Jalen Hurts is number 9 and how he should have been higher or should have been lower. And these guys are better. So they know what they're doing. It was kind of the lull of the offseason. And I don't think Jaden Daniels is a bad quarterback. I think he should be ranked in that top 10 after the rookie season that he had. But we've seen it so many times where these players have this phenomenal first year, especially with the Cliff Kingsbury-led offense. And then kind of once the league has tape, things start getting figured out, and it looks much different in year 2 and beyond. So we'll see if that holds up. But it's obviously they're doing it for attention when they're putting him ahead of Jalen Hurts. Like we've seen, we know.
Never fails. It's sad how many times they do it, but it's par for the course. They gotta have something to talk about, like you said. But thankfully, we have legit, actual news, and we don't have to really continue to go there. That is the beauty of it. Do we agree with that? No. I mean, like, Jaden Daniels is a good quarterback. All the things that you said there, but like let's have him prove it a little bit. You know, let's have him play in a Super Bowl. Let's see if that happens first. Jalen's played in 2. Jalen's been the best player in 2 Super Bowls. So, yeah.
And literally the only game that he won against Jalen Hurts' team was a game that Jalen Hurts wasn't able to complete. So,
yep.
I mean, if that doesn't say it right there, I don't know. But I mean, whatever. It is what it is.
You could very easily get sucked into it, and you see why they say it, because even as much
my
as
face is probably getting redder as I'm talking about it.
There's the arguments that just immediately pop back up, and it's like you don't want to, but it's too enticing not to just dive into that fight and go like, okay, look, here's the truth. This is what we need to say, but we're not. We don't have to go there. I was going to say, D-Mac has the legit exact counter for time from the opener. It's exactly 43 days, 23 hours, and this was probably about a minute ago, so it's now like 40 minutes, and just set up the countdown. So for people that are wanting to know, there's the exact timing from the opener. It can't get
I've got my little daily morning post that I do on Twitter where it's however many days are left until the game, and I link it to, usually if I can, as obscure of a player as possible that's worn that number for the Eagles. So there have been some funny ones in there.
Yeah, there's absolutely has. Kramer, I will send those pics. Appreciate it. Saying that his phone's about to die, so he's gonna hop out. But happy birthday again. Happy 40th. Hopefully it was a great night and enjoy. I'm gonna go back here because I was bringing this up as you were getting rebooted, but just to share the news of share the actual news, signings that took place. Ogbo, I have to pause always to say the last name. Okoronkwo, signing with the Eagles, 17 career sacks, 7.5 over the past 2 seasons. From Philly, Cleveland depth. It's never a bad thing. You like the signing?
I mean, the only thing that concerns me a little bit is, does it mean that they're going to play or like slow play Nolan Smith and bring him along a little bit slower? Because even in the workout videos that he's posted, he still has that either a sleeve on his arm or that big bulky brace on his arm. So maybe they're going to play things a little bit slower and they kind of just need bodies there, because right now I think they only have 6 or 7 rushers, or maybe this was the 8th. So as far as edge rushers, so maybe that just means they're going to be bringing Nolan Smith back a little bit slower. But like you said, it can't be a bad move, because at this point you're getting a guy that has experience off the edge. He's been relatively productive, but at the same time, I don't think he's going to be challenging for a top 3 or 4 spot on the like the rotation. I think it's more of a, if Joshua Uche doesn't look too great or Antoine Powell-Ryland slips up, maybe he can challenge for like that 5th edge spot and just bring some kind of experience there, because like I said, they don't really have that Brandon Graham that has a ton of experience in the NFL. And there were some people that thought they were going to bring in kind of a bigger, bulkier body style, kind of like a Brandon Graham, but Okoronkwo was not necessarily that type of player. He's a little bit smaller like the other guy. So it seems like Vic Fangio kind of has a type as far as the edge rushers go, where they're all in like that 6'2", 6'3" to 240, 250 range, where they have the ability to kind of play in different spots off the edge and drop in coverage here and there. Not like you're going to want them to do it 50% of the time, but just being able to have the athleticism to do so. So, I mean, like you said, it can't be a bad move at this point, just a low-cost kind of dart throw. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, really nothing lost.
There you go. I'm hopeful. It is a fair point about Nolan. I'm hopeful, obviously, that it's no delay and it's nothing there. That it is just more of a dart throw. Hey, there's some depth. We get some more competition in here. You know, is he able to push those guys? We'll see. But hopefully no delay for Nolan. I'm seeing some of the comments. Yes, Real Talk with G says Anthony was what, trying not to crack up, not to smile while I was trying to pronounce Ogbo's name.
Listen,
Look, there's
the
there's
second
some
they signed
difficult
him,
names.
I had flashbacks to the draft when it was Oluwafemi Oladejo.
I
I
was gonna
kept having to
say,
repeat that one. So I
yep,
mean, I'll get it. I'll get it eventually. Ogbo Okoronkwo is a.
Okoronkwo.
Hey, listen, but this
Okay.
is not too bad for our first day, right?
No,
Trying to get this.
I
So.
just had to pause and the phonetics, just work it out, sound it out.
Spell check on my phone wasn't appreciating it though when I was trying to tweet his name
Oh,
out.
look, the thought that I had was Albert Aquidabunum, and it was like whenever we first signed him, I'm like,
That's actually
holy.
permanently in my phone now. When I go to type Albert O, it just completely finishes his last
Yes,
name.
same deal.
So
Yeah, I was
I trained my
spell it how
phone
it
there.
sounds. Yep, yep. But it became Alberto. So then I've seen other people too. Like, bro, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it now. I'm gonna refer to him as Big O. Like, if I'm gonna say
Double O,
Ogbo
double O,
Okoronkwo, it's
double
there
O.
you go, double O. I don't know if you'd like
Oh, and
that.
just to touch back on the Nolan Smith thing, I'm not saying that he's going to miss any time during the regular
Right,
season.
right,
This is
yeah.
just simply like a numbers game where they're going to need a certain amount of players to play in preseason if they're going to be resting the starters or if they're going to have team scrimmages against the Browns or even just scrimmages within the team themselves. Like you're going to need bodies. So if you don't have guys to rotate and kind of give guys reps, then that's where you kind of run into trouble. Maybe giving too much of a workload to one guy when you didn't want to have him play that many snaps. So it's all about finding that balance, just having enough bodies to survive training camp.
Yep. I figured that was the case, but still, even in that sense, I don't like.
Just in case
All
anybody
that
was getting
Nolan,
nervous,
but
I didn't want to scare
I'm not
anybody.
nervous. Nobody should be nervous. Nolan said he's good. He's gonna be fine. Talked to him a couple different times. We should be all right. Steven here is blaming you for getting him into cards. He says, Anthony got me into cards. I will never financially recover. # blame DiBona.
Sorry, not sorry. I mean, it's one of my biggest passions. Hopefully, you don't reach the point where you have to kind of sneak packages in the house and you're getting them past your wife and the kids and say, "Oh no, this is something else. This is not another card." Like, I mean, I've had to do that a couple times, but no, I'm kidding. But yeah, I mean, it's fun, but it's just it can get very expensive very quickly. So just do your research, know what you're interested in, and I always tell people just collect what you like because there are a lot of people that are in it for the money and they kind of just buy cards to flip them and just try and get profit, and that could be a dangerous game that ends up kind of spiraling out of control. It literally becomes almost like a gambling addiction. So just be careful and just do it responsibly.
There, your guy Jalix. I've shared. I think with some people. I don't know if I share with everybody in the stream, but I have shared with some people. Your Jalix Hunt collection is pretty legit.
Yeah, it's up there. That's my
I,
guy. I was my guy before the
don't know
Eagles.
that
So,
anybody else has that type of collection.
I mean, I can
so-
try and I can't turn my camera, but I can try and take a picture and show it if I can. I'll see.
Okay,
People are probably gonna be like, "Why is this not your backdrop?" But it's just
it's pretty legit. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if you're gonna have one collection to go after, then
I don't know if
Jalix
it's even a
Hunt.
show on the phone, but that's
Oh yeah, you can see that. Yep, there you
those
go.
are all Jalix Hunt cards, rookie cards from a set called Mosaic, which is very colorful. So my kids love that it's displayed in the living room. And
That's dedication right
it's
there.
I think like 26, 27 different cards, something like that now.
The fact that you have that and that you talked your wife into having that displayed in your living room
Listen,
is
I have that.
legendary status.
I have that on one wall. I have a signed Jalen Hurts jersey on the other wall. And listen, my wife, she knew what she was
that's
getting
the most
into.
impressive part.
She knew what she was getting into.
Let's go. It's I don't have let's just say there's none of those in our living room, unfortunately. That's didn't get those talked into. So that's why I say that is the most impressive. You got lots of comments though. Yes, that is legit. It's awesome. Nice collection, collector cards. Pretty legit. David says my thing is jerseys, and that's not cheap either. That is for sure. Yeah, if you're collecting jerseys, especially for autographs, it can get very pricey. All memorabilia, obviously, but
Speaking of that, let me just throw this out there now, just to show people what we're going to be giving away later. So, on the topic of cards, might as well. Kelee Ringo, autographed rookie card. Like I mentioned before, a guy that has pretty high expectations going into this year. So, going to be giving that out to somebody, and I'll ship it out tomorrow. And if somebody gives them, whoever wins it, if they share their address with myself or Josh, I'll ship it out tomorrow.
There we go. Could possibly win that. Get the Jihaad Dotson signed jersey, double up. What would be the odds of that? It's not
offense,
impossible.
defense.
Wouldn't be too bad. I was going to bring up too, just because we were on the topic of pass rushers and different players there. And well, we said 00, Big O, Ogbo. There is a new Agent Zero.
So good.
People don't seem to like that. I think
I
I would be curious, and we could talk about it as well. But I would be curious in the chat, how many people like the idea of another pass rusher being Agent Zero? It doesn't bother me, but I was surprised by how many comments whenever I brought that up in one of the videos. I was like, is this a curse? Like, should we have someone else who's not a pass rusher because of obviously what took place with Bryce Huff? Are people in favor of this? We had Josh Uche, Agent Zero.
I mean, it seems like the easy joke is if they're not productive at any position, whoever wears zero, it's just like 0 sacks, 0 rushing yards,
Exactly,
0 catches,
yes.
whatever. Like, so that's the risk. But it just does look so good. It's such like a slim number. Like I think I personally love the idea of Bryce Huff wearing it when he was here. Obviously things didn't work out, but like I just think I just love single digit numbers on anybody. I think it's gonna look. I think it'll be all right. And it's just I don't know. I think I'd like the Aziz. Aziz Ojulari, right? He got number 13, which is what he wore at Georgia. So I kind of like that aspect of it more because it kind of opened up Uche switching his number, kind of opened up things. And then Antoine Powell-Ryland got 52, which is the number he wore at Virginia Tech. So it kind of was like a trickle down effect where everybody I think got a really good fitting jersey number. And I know people didn't like when you asked Jahan Dotson about the jersey number. It seemed like some people got annoyed by that too. People think we're kind of reading too much into it, and it's all in good fun. It's not like
Right.
It
yes,
obviously
yeah.
doesn't have an impact on the field, but it's just fun to talk about during a time like this.
Yeah, just because there are some good, interesting stories, and that was the other part as well. It's like, hey, is there a particular reason for, like, you take a number 2 going from 83 and making that move? And sometimes it's like a very specific instance, and that's why I was like, hey, back to back, make this thing happen. Second year with the Eagles, like, whatever you want. But it was cool. He asked Slay about the possibility, and Slay sharing with him like, yeah, there's not anybody that I would want to represent. You could represent that the best, so go for it. Kind of getting the nod. Kind of cool, and we'll see. It's year 2. I'm hyped for Jihaad. He seems to be very excited. Obviously, get a full training camp. I think people maybe underrate that importance of being with a team for a full training camp instead of when he joined, August 22nd last year. It's like that training camp is technically over at that. Like, they still have practices, but it's not training camp practice. It's just like practices in between the final game. But for all intents and purposes, they will say training camp was done. So he didn't get a training camp with the Eagles. He got plenty of time, over the course of the season, but it's incredibly difficult to go into, an offense, and, he wasn't going to get a lot of looks anyway, but also to build that rapport with a guy like Jalen. So I loved hearing it from him as well as just like the comment, like, oh, you have no idea. Like, to get a full offseason, a full training camp. Now, I'm not saying this. I'm not sure that many people are. We're not saying, oh, he's 1,000 yards. But I think just the chemistry alone, if there's openings, because we saw sometimes when we would, break down the tape or like go over, you're like, there's Jahan Dotson. He's wide open, but he doesn't get the ball thrown his way. I just think that there maybe will be a little less of those missed opportunities from Jalen because it's like, I'll look Jahan's way. Like, there's a little bit more of that chemistry built up.
I feel like that's that missing time in general during training camp and preseason. I don't think people realize how important it is sometimes because even looking at a guy like Sidney Brown, who was out because obviously he was recovering from an injury, but under a new defensive coordinator, when he was finally healthy in late October, people were like, oh, he didn't get any playing time. That means Vic Fangio hates him and he sucks. But like, he was just behind the 8 ball. He never was really on the field when they're initially installing everything. You're not on that same level as everybody else. And with Jahan Dotson, obviously the same thing applies. It's almost, I mean, I don't know if not a lot of people have to go through this, fortunately, but it's kind of like transferring schools in like the middle of the school year. Like you're all of a sudden you have new classmates, which is like your new teammates. You don't know how the teacher teaches. You don't know how the coach coaches. You don't know how, like, what they're up to in that course. And it's the same thing with like where they are in the playbook. So there's all different factors, and you're kind of trying to learn on the fly. So that's what Jahan Dotson had to go through, obviously. And you saw his face light up when you talked about like the opportunity to have a full off season and just the step forward that you can take in that situation, because it is so hard, even with when players are traded in the middle of the season. Just unless you're like a veteran that has a ton of experience in that system, that you're entering before, it's really tough to kind of acclimate yourself and kind of hit the ground running. So I think Jahan Dotson is going to be significantly better this year. And I think it was really encouraging just to hear the way he spoke and the attitude and the outlook that he has, especially with a guy like Kevin Patullo taking over as the OC. I'm really excited to see what he can do in year 2 with the Eagles.
I'll put you on the spot a little bit. Do you have any predictions for this year of how like what type of production we might say Jahan Dotson had? Because I mean he didn't get a lot, right? 33 targets, if I'm not mistaken, no drops. So hey, take advantage of the opportunities while you get them. No drops out of those 33. I don't know what's a better year in your eyes. What do you see from him?
Unfortunately, it's still going to be like relatively low production, just given the offense and the role that he's basically the fifth
Fair.
option on the field. So I think it would be really encouraging to see him get, say, 35 to 40 catches for about 400 to 500 yards and say like 2 to 4 touchdowns, like something in that range, assuming that
I would
AJ
take it.
Brown or Devontae Smith don't miss a significant amount of time. I feel like a stat line like that would be really encouraging. And like I've mentioned before, I think they are going to pass the ball at a little bit of a higher clip and push the ball downfield a little bit more this year as they look to maybe lighten Saquon Barkley's load a bit after he handled a ton of snaps last year and a ton of touches. So in that case, Jahan Dotson should just naturally get more opportunities because if they're going to be passing the ball more, he should be more involved. So like I said, I don't think he's going to get 800 to 1,000 yards, but if he can get 4 to 500 on 35 to 40 catches and 2 to 4 touchdowns, I feel like that would be a productive year for a wide receiver 3.
I agree. There's big dogs going AJ 1,500, Smitty 1,200, Jahan 800, and Dallas 800. So we got some.
And that would be Jalen Hurts throwing for like 6,000 yards or something like that.
It would be a really solid number right there because what we're talking about. Well, there's 3,500 plus 800 from Dallas is 4,300, and that's before we get into any other receiver, Saquon, Grant Calcaterra. I mean, yeah, we're talking about Jalen Hurts probably throwing for over 5,000 yards on a season there. Could you imagine all the haters that like Jalen Hurts is a terrible quarterback, all this that he throws for because he hasn't thrown for what was it, like touchdown passes last year, 18, 19, whatever it was. If he throws for, I mean, maybe not, because if he's just doing like tush push and Saquon scoring the touchdown, but like theoretically, if he throws for 5,200 passing yards, he's probably throwing for 30 passing touchdowns, like probably at least 30 touchdowns. So it's very unlikely, but I would just love it from the stance of all this hate, all this criticism on Jalen, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess maybe he can. Maybe he can play this quarterback because now by their standards, you go, well, he's also got the passing yards. He did just throw for 5,000 yards and had 30 or 40 touchdowns, so good for him.
But watch, I guarantee if that happens and say that the Eagles like don't go as deep as they did in the postseason or they win, say, 9 or 10 games.
Yeah, that's true.
That narrative's going to switch and it's going to be like, well, yeah, he put up those stats, but they didn't win as many games. So now it's going to be somehow, some way, the narrative that they use for Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow and guys that put up a ton of stats but don't necessarily win in the postseason, they're going to use that for Jalen Hurts and then boost up those. Like, it's just always going to be something. I feel like we've reached the point where no matter what Jalen Hurts does, it's never going to be enough for certain people, and that's just the way it is.
It's moving the goalposts. It's just the constant, not the same argument. By the way, some people going back to that Bryce Huff comment. Jorge was saying, I like Swift with 0. Yes, he wore it well. Agent 0 worked for him. That was perfectly fine. Tiffany was asking, Uche got 0. Yes, Uche did. Jorge also hope Uche doesn't get 0 sacks. So I don't think there's like a drastic reaction on this live stream here of Agent 0 or super concerned, but there's a couple that are like, yeah, we need to just kind of change the bad juju on that number 0. I don't know if Uche goes out there first game, sacks Prescott, strip sack, whatever, wearing 0, they're like, okay, we're good. All bets are off. We should be fine.
Well, you got to start by making the roster first. It seems like there are some reporters that don't even think that's going to happen. So we'll see. I mean, I personally think he'll make it.
Yeah.
But I mean, there seems to be some thought that either maybe they'll trade for somebody or maybe Double O might take his spot now that he's added to the roster. So we'll see.
And somebody else is going to grab The new Agent Zero is just gonna keep getting passed around. At that point, it may be like a bad omen. Like,
That's
don't
it.
leave Zero alone. Don't.
They'll unofficially retire it like they have with some other numbers.
Yeah, they're like, sorry, we're actually not gonna allow anybody to get this anymore. By the way, more comments on the T-shirt. Appreciate that. There's a link in the description if you want to check out Die Hard Addicts. Shout out to them. Code Philly Special, 10% off. Got several T-shirts there, but they also are dropping some new merch coming in like a couple weeks for the new upcoming season. So stay tuned for that. The other signing that we've not gotten into yet, but Jacob Sykes, I believe, San Antonio Brahmas. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was where Gabe Hall was drafted to, the San Antonio Brahmas also. Was he not? Am I making that up?
I honestly don't know. You're the
Okay,
the resident Gabe Hall guy.
I just figured you might
I
know
would
that.
trust
Okay.
your judgment on that one,
I
unfortunately.
think he was. Now I'm going to have to double check, or maybe somebody in the chat can verify this. He obviously did not go there, but I think that he was drafted early in, or I think, what was it, first round maybe by the Brahmas?
He was. Gabe Hall was selected by the San Antonio Brahmas as the 7th overall selection
Okay.
in the 2024 UFL draft.
I'm not crazy. There we go. I thought I remembered that, but anyway, it's not Gabe Hall. Of course, he's still trying to make a spot as we're talking about that, and other guys who will. Eagles signed former San Antonio Brahmas interior defensive line Jacob Sykes, per Mike Mitchell. Shout out to him. Sykes was listed 6'3". This is your tweet. 6'3", 282 in the UFL, and spent time with the Seahawks under Eagles defensive line coach Clint Hurt in 2023. And showcase closing speed, versatility on edge in 2024. Could be, I mean, someone to watch, obviously, but more depth on the D-line.
I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this kind of just seems like a straight-up camp body signing. Maybe a practice squad guy if he shows up enough to like be a guy like Gabe Hall or Byron Young, something like that. But, I mean, they brought in, as far as the work, because they worked 3 interior defensive linemen out the other day, and Sykes was one of them. There was one guy that was undrafted in 2023, which was Sykes, another in 2024, another in 2025. So they brought in different kind of body styles. And once again, I thought they were going to bring in a bigger kind of nose tackle type of guy. But Sykes is a little bit on the smaller side. I believe he was listed like 6'3", 280. And he played both on the edge and along the interior from what I saw in the UFL. So maybe a little bit of versatility there. But like I said, it seems like more of just a numbers game and a guy that they'll bring in to help get through training camp and preseason.
You never know. Maybe he surprises people. But yeah, it was one of those last minute, because we look through the roster and you're also saying like, okay, there's only so many. And if people have not, feel free to go check out Anthony's article, the phillyspecialshow.com. There's a link down in the description for that as well. But the latest 53-man roster projection, and there's only so many guys you could take, obviously, but there's a lot of depth already within that defensive line. So I'm with you. It wouldn't be a huge surprise, but still, I think it just goes to show, like, there's constant playing with the roster, trying to fine tune, trying to find, that diamond in the rough. That diamond in the rough, is it Sykes? Probably not, but we wish him well. Hey, crazier things have happened. Let's see. There was, James saying, did y'all see Smitty calling Love Island stupid? He's a real one. It is funny whenever they give their insight on some like non-football related stuff and like give their opinions or takes. It went back and forth whenever I saw that.
Oh, I don't know if you've mentioned this yet, but I just saw it on my phone. The Saints are working to sign free agent safety Julian Blackmon as Tyrann Mathieu announced his retirement. So
are they? Okay.
That was from Jeremy Fowler, and I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, Jeremy Fowler. I thought Jordan Schultz might have had some too, but it was just Jeremy Fowler. So I know he's been a player, but him and Justin Simmons that we've talked about as far as if they do want to bring in another veteran safety. So if Blackmon is off the market, it's not done yet. It seems like it's being discussed. But usually once it's being reported like that, it's only a matter of time. So maybe that kind of pushes Justin Simmons to sign wherever he is going to sign a little bit quicker than he wanted to, because it was like the middle of August when he signed last year with the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens there. But Julian Blackmon seems like he's heading to New Orleans. Okay,
and there you go. You see the tweet as Anthony was referencing, Jeremy Fowler. That was one of the names. I mean, we're basically getting down to like, hey, if Philly looks at the talent on the roster, they see Mukuba, they see Tristan McCollum, Lucine, Andre Sam, all the guys battling it out, and they say, yeah, Or Fangio says, I don't know, maybe bring in a vet. And Justin Simmons, we're kind of down to that solution, that option.
I just picture like Vic Fangio has this box on his glass box on his desk. It's just break glass in case of like an emergency for Justin Simmons. He just presses the button and then boom,
We
Justin
need
Simmons
him.
just appears in a ball of smoke, and he's just right
It's
there in the Novacare Complex.
it's time. I mean, that's at least the blessing, as we continue to say, like all offseason long. If you want him, it is so easy to make that happen because Justin Simmons has made it known. It's very obvious. Not a better situation to be in to play in Philly, be a safety, try to reassert your dominance, whatever, maybe get another contract or at least some incentives that way. But yeah, like there's just not many more options, especially if and when you get the official signing there from the Saints. So a little bit unexpected for Tyrann Mathieu retiring, but they got to move on. They already signed Justin Reed from us. Eagles were interested, maybe not in the same ballpark for numbers wise, but they were interested in looking at getting Justin Reed for the safety. And now, who knows if they were trying to make a play for Julian Blackmon, but that may be off the table here soon. So we'll see. Other players that we covered the signings, but getting into players you're looking forward to at camp, we talked about this a little bit. Any other specifics, or it may go right along the lines with some of the safety? I know that's one of the battles, but a couple guys that you specifically have your eye out for or be focusing on?
So it feels like that safety position, as you mentioned, is really, I know people talk about cornerback 2 and the linebackers behind the starters, like who's going to start until Nakobe and Jihaad Campbell are ready. But yeah, that safety battle between Drew Mukuba and Sidney Brown, I think, is a legitimate competition. I think Mukuba has the upper hand just because obviously Vic Fangio hand selected him and they brought him in while they were here. And Sidney Brown, they kind of inherited from the previous regime. So I think Mukuba has the upper hand, and it's going to be fun to see how that shakes out. But then in regards to like injuries, as I mentioned, Jihaad Campbell and Nakobe are two big ones because it seems like Jihaad Campbell should be ready to play by week 1. Who knows how many snaps he'll play, but he definitely seems to be trending in that direction. And Nakobe, I mean, they say he's probably going to be like, I mean, most reporters have him being placed on the PUP list with their 53-man roster projection, but every workout video that he posts, it just seems like he's ready to step on the field now. So it's like I'm at the point where I'm not even going to doubt him anymore. But then two other guys that kind of caught my attention at OTAs as far as their like participation level. Avery Williams, we didn't really see much of at all, and he's kind of a player that I'm excited to see because I think he could be a legitimate return specialist. And now playing wide receiver for the first time, I think he has a little bit of upside there. And then Jalen Carter is a guy that he wasn't really on the field too much during OTAs. Then he was at Devontae Smith's charity softball game and was a coach. He wasn't even participating. So is there some type of weird injury situation going on there, or like what's his status going to be as they hit the field for training camp tomorrow?
It's interesting. I didn't actually pick up on that. So that's a good thought though, because they'd just being a coach on the sideline. We'll see. Hopefully nothing major, nothing big concern. Or, I guess it was major, we'd know, but like nothing, just to hold him out for a little bit. So get some of those pieces of info. There's the video clip, or one of the latest video clips for Nakobe Dean. Also for people that were curious or haven't seen, that was the Instagram post that he had shared recently. And like you say, all the movements, everything that he continues to do, it's shocking. It's surprising. I don't think that many people assumed that he would be where he is at that point of what he's actually doing. But, credit to him. He's putting in the work, trying to get back out there as soon as possible. He's said now that it is a possibility. He's hoping to be able to be good to go and not have to get on the pup. Now, again, that's hopeful. So they're just not saying, oh, that's likely or better than 50. Like, that's just hopeful. But just to be at that point, I mean, you got to love it. It's a positive sign. And even if it is like, all right, hey, pup list, come back after week 4, you're good to go. I mean, that would still be a huge win in my book. I mean, get him acclimated by the middle of the season. He's maybe right back in there 100% or as close as you could expect him to be. I don't just, it's blowing everybody's minds for where he's at so far.
Yeah, after every workout video that I see of Nakobe Dean, I just find myself going back and Googling, like, which knee was it that he injured? And I want to make sure, like, I'm like, wait, he's moving like that with the knee? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's lifting like that with that? Okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, now it's like, whenever I see a video, I'm just, like, I'm not even shocked anymore because the progress he's made is incredible. And I mean, it's going to be fun to see. Like whenever he does play, it's like we've said a bunch of times, he is heading into a contract year, and I'm sure he saw that they drafted Jihaad Campbell kind of to eventually replace him, or even replace him this year as he's works his way back. So he has that chip on his shoulder and all the motivation that he needs to kind of get back out there as soon as possible. But I've said it. I think the Eagles should play it slow and place him on the pup list. Not only does it give them a roster spot to work with for those first 4 weeks, as other potential injuries might happen or things like that. So, but once he's ready to go, he's going to want to be on that field. So it's going to be fun to see how that shakes out. And just one more thing, Ian Rappaport just tweeted that Julian Blackmon is signing with the Saints. So no speculation. That's a done deal.
So it is done. I'll put the tweet up there. I think I've got it here. Let's see. Oh, I thought I had it. I had the other one. Let's see. Just for people to officially, we believe you, of course, but you know, there we go. If I can share now. And, oh, I think I lost it again. 1 second. Apologies, everybody. See, this is the working through technical difficulties. We'll have this worked out, you know, like in a week. It'll be good. We won't be experiencing these. There we go. Finally. I think I got it. There's the tweet. Yeah. So it's official. It's officially official. So it is just Justin Simmons. If you wanted Julian Blackmon, that's not going to happen anymore. But there we go.
And for those that didn't, for those that didn't read my 53-man roster projection, I actually do have the Eagles signing Justin Simmons. So we'll see if it happens or not, but I think it's a possibility.
We've been right before. I mean, tag team this effort here, but my 53-man roster projection had us trading Bryce Huff, and then like a week later, we traded Bryce Huff. So, you know, now you have traded.
So maybe you have to
Simmons.
say it.
We're
it doesn't
waiting
matter if
for
I say it.
No, I think this is like a tag team effort, you know, because it works the same way. Going back to the whole Jihaad Dotson. By the way, shout out to Underdog. They will be another official sponsor during the football season in the coming months. So we'll have more details on that. But whenever we would give the picks, Jihaad Dotson was one of those like, is he going to like a singular catch? It was will he catch one pass? And you're like, I don't know. It's very tempting. And the number of times that he would not was kind of alarming. You know, you're like, gosh, it's just one catch. Throw him a screen pass, you know, and make it happen. But I think that could be a good bet, especially early on. Like I very much, if they offer me a 0.5 catches on the higher or lower, I'm absolutely taking the higher on week one, because even if it's just a little quick screen, get it to him. Yeah, it's an automatic. Anyway, as I was fumbling through that, we got a couple big ones here. 20 bomb from Matt, Philly Special Show gift memberships. So 20 people getting those. Congrats to everybody there. But Eagle one of the MVPs here. Good vibes, he says. You are the man, Matt. Appreciate that. And then also the follow-up, John M. with a 20. We just got 40 Philly Special Show memberships like that.
Unbelievable.
Heck yeah. Appreciate you guys. That means a lot. And again, everybody else who's getting those memberships, you get access to the member giveaways. So keep those there as we start doing the tickets. The goal, as I mentioned, is giving away for every single game like happened last year, and then to surpass that. So stay tuned. That is definitely one of the things that works anyway. JB3 says, yo, give me a membership. Unfortunately, it doesn't let you pick specifically. It's a random algorithm. Some people have better luck than others. I don't think Muhammad is on this stream, or maybe he is and I've missed, but he might have the worst luck in terms of being gifted a membership, the number of times that it's skipped over him. But let's see. There's also, I was going to mention, we do have a couple giveaways. I could probably spin for the Jihaad Dotson one real quick, if we wanted to do that. And then we still have the cards as well. But I could get that set up real quick here. Again, this was just the the giveaway from the Jahan Dotson interview, and he said that he would gladly. It was really cool too. He was really down to earth. People that watched that know, very down to earth, very giving of his time. Was willing to hang out for a while, and was like, "Yeah, I'll sign the jersey, get it back to you." So whoever wins this, it may be or it will be. It won't may it will be a little bit delayed. So I'm just gonna preface it with that, because they're at camp and all the other stuff. He's like, ship it there. I'll get it. I'll sign it. I'll ship it back. So it just may take a little longer than your standard traditional giveaway because I don't actually have it. It's been shipped to Jahan for him to sign. So, but I'll pick one here. I'll spin for this. Let me see if the screen is going to share appropriately. It is. And good luck all. So let's see who it lands on. We got Brendan Leahy, I believe is how I would say the last name. Brendan, congrats to you. Said this is going to be a great year for JD. Go Birds. We talk about Jahan Dotson. It's a great year for him. And congrats to you. You can rep that all year long or hang it up. It's going to be a signed one. So I don't know if you're like a wear a signed jersey type of guy. I'm not. I usually kind of goes straight to being hung up. But either way, you want to wear it, rep Jahan Dotson. There you go. Congrats, Brendan. If you're here on the stream, it'd be fantastic. Let us know. Say, hey, I'm here. It's me, whatever. But yes, do that. Otherwise, I'll give a shout out in an upcoming video. You got time to claim it. You'll have a week. If he does not, we'll hop back on the live stream, and give it away to somebody live. So, congratulations.
Would you like to reward one of the live viewers now, or you want to hold off a little bit? I know you're about an hour into it now, so I wasn't sure what you're looking like time-wise.
No, we could. There's only like maybe one or two-ish topics that I was going to go over. But, yeah, we could do that and then cover those last few if we want to.
Alrighty. So
let me
you want to just go with
let me
Ringo?
Let me get it.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, let me get it to the link real quick, and then we can go with what we're going to comment.
Jumping ahead here. Sorry, right. I'm excited.
No, you're good. All right, let's see. Okay. I mean, I think that does work though, as far as the word.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Should be good. And okay, so we can go with Ringo. Oh, by the way, I'm seeing this. Adam, I emailed you about the shirt that you're also supposed to get, but I never heard back from you. That was after Matt. I'm seeing Matt's comment as well. Yeah. I emailed you like a week ago now. It's at least like 3 or 4 days. So you got a shirt also. I needed to get your address. I sent you that email, courtesy of Matt. So again, this community, we help each other out. Also, I think Cobb was the Nolan Smith jersey winner, or no, the shirt winner. Excuse me, not jersey. But I've got that one also. So for people that are waiting, or I'm waiting to hear back from, we're good to go there. As we get.
So I see everybody's spamming it already. But
completely.
If you would like to win this, type Ringo in the chat now, and someone in the chat live right now will be winning this signed Kelee Ringo rookie card. And the quicker the winner gets their address to me or Josh, the quicker I'll send it out. Yep. Hopefully as soon as tomorrow.
Don't leave the stream because we're about to spin for this, and yes. Sometimes people have left the stream and they don't win it, so then we'll give it away to somebody else. So if you've typed it in here, just wait until we say, "Hey, okay, there's so and so. They're here. They got it." Still got a lot of them. That's good though. I like this. We have almost 500 people hanging out on a Tuesday night live stream. A little bit late, but training camp is tomorrow. Training camp is kind of today, but the first practice tomorrow. People are hyped for the season to begin. It feels great. It feels good. Like football is back. We saw some of the clips and highlights of the players walking into the complex today. Heck yeah.
Seems like the the whole little stage background thing they had set up for like the promo videos. I'm assuming it's gonna be like the stadium videos and stuff like that that they normally shoot for at this time, like
Oh yeah.
when they have the players scream into the camera and stuff. But they had like the broad street and almost kind of like a train station kind of thing. I don't know. I loved it. It looked really cool. So
Oh yeah.
I'm excited to see how those turn out.
That's always the best. Get those like intros and hype and everything else. Frank trying to fix my wife's coffee maker. Whew, man, if that would be like DEFCON 5 in my house, if our like, hopefully you're able to figure that thing out. But
Are you a coffee guy?
no, but my wife
No?
is. So he's saying like
Okay.
he's fixing it, and I'd be like,
I know. I was just curious. I've never been a coffee person, but I don't know. Since my son was born a couple years ago, he's gonna be 3, a couple days. But I don't know. I've been having my little coffee in the morning. Nothing crazy, but I don't know. I've just become a coffee person.
okay, interesting. A little evolution of Anthony DiBona here.
I'm just trying to kill time while we're doing the giveaway. I didn't know what else to talk about.
I can appreciate it. Just caught my eye because I was like, okay, it is something that would be like, oh my gosh, we gotta have the coffee. And I appreciate it, but he's oh, someone was asking Frank, have you smacked it on the side? You said
That's
I
it.
smacked it and it's not working. Yes. All right. I think I got enough entries here. I was waiting to make sure everybody can enter and say Ringo. We got plenty here, so I'm going to share the screen. We're going to pick this randomly. Don't leave the stream, though, because you got to be here. Adam, okay, sweet. You found the email. Shot one back. Okay, good. I was going to say, I'd emailed a couple days ago, and I was like, I still hadn't heard. Good luck, all. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Who's it going to be? Stay on the stream. Be here. Oh, no way. Oh, this is too good. Frank, you may have a broken coffee maker, but you just won. No way. That's actually pretty hilarious because Frank's got that. I'm pretty sure. Isn't that the same Frank? I saw Frank. I didn't see the last name. I think that's the same Frank. Yeah. He said I smacked it. It's not working. So the coffee maker is not working. But Frank, congratulations. You have won a Kelee Ringo signed card from Anthony DiBona, the man himself. So your wife may not be able to get coffee, but you can at least tell her that you now have a Kelee Ringo card.
That'll definitely cheer her up. That'll be the key to her heart.
That is too great. Of all the people to win right there too. I saw that comment right before. He says she's gonna love this. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna make her feel much better about the coffee. Hopefully you get the coffee figured out, but congratulations to you. As always, for every giveaway here, just make sure to hit us up. Whether it's email, thefilispecialshow@gmail.com. You could DM on one of the socials, me or Anthony. If you want to, Anthony, easier because he's shipping it out, so at DiBona NFL. But either way, if you get in touch with one of us, we'll coordinate, get it out to you, get your info and everything else. But he says, thanks, Keurig. And Trent's going Kelee Ringo, a.k.a. Coffee Mate.
Kelee, Keurig, kind of the K's, maybe
Yeah.
Keurig Ringo, we can call him. Figure it out.
Cheesesteak says, this is Frank here talking. Like he's like, honey, I couldn't fix the coffee maker, but I got a signed Eagles Ringo card.
And then she chucks the card across the room.
Yes. Oh, Brian, I forgot about that. Remember for 1 month here, it says the best poll since the Go F Yourself guy one. Yeah, I remember that. That was the one I was like, oh, so-and-so. And then I was trying to like pronounce their name for a second. And I was like, oh, can't say that. I was like, come on. You got to be kidding me. Really? That's going to be who wins? That was actually pretty good. The odds of that. People are going to say it's rigged, of course. But, some things just work that way. Congratulations again, Frank. So we'll get that to you. Let's see. I think the only other main item we talked about briefly, we'll get a super quick conspiracy here. Jalen Hurts is not wearing his Super Bowl ring. What's up with that? So
I have this weird conspiracy theory that I haven't tweeted about, and I've seen other people say similar things, but in Jalen Hurts' sick mind, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, just because he's the ultimate competitor's competitor, right? It's just, to me, I think in his mind, he's like, I'm not putting this ring on until I can be like Bill Russell and just fill my entire hand, all 5 fingers or both hands with rings, Or maybe I've seen some people say, "Oh, it's not the right size." I feel like it would have fit on one of his fingers, so I don't think necessarily that was it. I think there's probably something where he's. I mean, we saw the guy put him walking off the field after losing the Super Bowl as his wallpaper. So clearly, he kind of uses things to motivate himself. And I think he told himself, or like I said, in his mind, maybe he spoke to Michael Jordan about it, and Michael Jordan said he wouldn't wear the rings or something. Like probably something to as far as being a competitor, where he just doesn't want to put it on until the job is finished, or some Jalen Hurtsism that we've heard, and that's probably what I'd be thinking.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, something motivation wise. I did a short about it and similar, like, people are like, oh, maybe it doesn't fit, but it's like they delayed it. It's they're gonna make sure that that was the right ring size, and then it's like, maybe he didn't have it with him, but there's so many pictures that prove it. There's so many other parts to the argument against it, where it's like he's blatantly choosing not to, but like what is the reason for him choosing not to put it on? And I could totally see that because yes, you're right. Like he's breed of one. Hearing Jahan Dotson in his comments, he's like, bro, he's literally, he talks in quotes. Like it's not just like what you see for the press conference. He does that in real life, talking with everybody else. So he's
Dotson said he like talks in t-shirt quotes or something like that. I
yeah,
like
yeah. He's
lost
like,
it at
I know. I was like, he talks in
It's so
quotes.
funny.
I'm like, okay, because sometimes you wonder, you're like, okay, is he doing this intentionally? Like, sure, he believes a lot of those, but is he doing it more so because it's like cameras on, press conference, PC answers, or just trying to word it a specific way? But he was like, no, he is that way everywhere. So it makes it better. But yes, I think, like you said, this is why I titled it. I think on the TikTok video that I did, but I just said Jalen Hurts is a psycho, but it's in a good way. He's a psycho, but it's
Yeah.
in a good way because it's just extra motivated that way. Fanny, I'm sorry. I think this is directed to me. If I missed that comment, and I'll go back to it. You said he didn't read my milestone chat. Did I miss your milestone chat comment? Just comment back whatever it was, and I'll read it here. I try to get to all of those, and I apologize. Sometimes I get distracted. It's Anthony's fault if I don't read it.
Anything that goes wrong is my fault.
But
No problem.
I will read it though. No, sometimes the chat gets moving too quickly, or I get sidetracked. So, Frank says good. Wife got a kick out of the whole thing, and I got out of actually fixing it tonight. Let's go. Well, congratulations to you. Got a kick out of the whole thing, won that, and don't even have to fix it. That sounds like a win-win-win. The other thing, real quickly, was, and we have again touched on this, but the last one to wrap up, unless there's any other questions or clips or whatnot. But any other moves that you potentially see? I know you mentioned Justin Simmons, but Howie Roseman is kind of prone in August to make a move or two. Anything else just to keep an eye out for, even just a position wise?
So I've tweeted about it, but I think it's pretty noteworthy that in late August or so, in each of the last 4 years, Howie Roseman has traded for a player on their rookie contract. So, I mean, it's not like it was just one time here and there or every other year. It's literally been 4 years in a row. So it seems like there's a trend where they go through training camp, they go through most of the preseason games, and then Howie Roseman says, hey, we need to get better at this spot. We need to add either a developmental player or somebody that can help right now. Like we need to improve such and such spot. So I don't know what it's going to be this year. In my 53-man roster projection, I had them trading with the Rams for Davis Allen, who's he's going into his third year in the NFL. He was drafted, I believe, in the 4th or 5th round by the Rams, and he was initially like their tight end 2, and they added a couple this offseason. They drafted Terrence Ferguson high, so now he's about 4th in their depth chart, and the Eagles don't have any tight ends under contract past this season, so he would give them somebody he's only 24. He's got 2 years left on his rookie deal, so just somebody to build with moving forward and just to have anybody at the position under contract for 2026. So I think something like that, where they add a player late in August, is probably the most realistic move. Like I said, the position will probably become a little bit clearer as training camp happens and as preseason game happens, and if there's any injuries. And then obviously the Justin Simmons question is going to linger until he does sign either with Philadelphia or anywhere else, just because naturally there's questions about the readiness of both Drew Mukuba and Sidney Brown. Reed Blankenship is going into a contract year, so they don't have a ton of like solid solutions either like next to Reed Blankenship, depending on how this battle plays out, or moving forward into the future unless those guys really step up. So they might opt to bring in a guy like Justin Simmons and have that familiarity with Vic Fangio, Christian Parker, the defensive scheme, So we'll see what happens. But those will be the moves that I would look out for.
There you go. There you have it. This is why you should be following Anthony at DiBona NFL on Twitter or X, however you call it, whatever your choice is there. But for other moves, anything else, obviously big moves, jumping on live to break the news, videos to come, articles, thephillyspecialshow.com. Make sure to bookmark that if you haven't already, the website in there. Shout out to Gary, member for 14 months. Says he will wear it when he has one for each one for each finger, like you were talking about, for Jalen Hurts. And Gary ran into Big Dom this past weekend. So Dom was showing off both rings.
Oh, the best was Lane Johnson's, where he's got like the two on one finger. And you can just see how drastically bigger this one is compared to 2018, 2017. So
it's just the trend of like the rings just continue to get bigger and bigger. And it's like, that's why I loved the troll of somebody posted it on Twitter, I think is where I first saw it. And they just started going out all over the place. But, you compare it to the Cowboys' last Super Bowl ring. And then you see what the Eagles are doing. And you're like, yeah, they're just, just a little bit bigger. They're grown more gaudy, but
I saw somebody else comment tonight. They're like, if they win another one, it's just going to be like a full set, like brass knuckles. It's going to go over like 4 fingers. And
you might as well at that point, honestly.
This would be a whole eagle head just across your knuckles.
How great would that be? Like it's like a mini eagle, like the whole thing, is like flapping instead of just the wings that come out.
Oh my God.
It might as well. Let's see. Fanny said, okay, wait. Oh, here's the one. Said, been a member for 14 months, just asked, say, hey guys, and asked Ant-Man for the football on his shelf. So that was the comment earlier. I guess I may have missed that one. But shout out to Fanny for being a member for 14 months and was asking for the football, which...
Yeah, so that was actually sent to me. I don't remember the company offhand, but I can try and find that link and get it to you somehow, either in the live stream or... I think it was a limited. There were maybe like 500 or something like that of them made. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
There we go. I remember that one from. It's been a little while, but whenever I started seeing those kind of going around from some people that were buying them, but I can't remember either of which one that was. Trent saying, Josh, let's get a "Let's Run It" shirt. You and Saquon, like the Step Brothers cover. I mean. Sure, yeah. If Saquon was down, obviously, like, one would ever say no to that? But yeah, I don't know if I could necessarily just throw his picture on just anything, without like approval or whatnot. I think that's a dangerous, slippery slope to play, which is like, hey, I'm just gonna throw a player's profile on a shirt without approval. I don't know. Better safe than sorry. Let's see. Okay, yeah, Gary's saying it's insane how big it was because again, he got to see the ring close up in person, meeting Dom. So that's crazy. John, we'll work on maybe a Hey Now shirt. You guys keep saying it. I know you would buy it.
Yes. Give me a Hey Now hat. Let me get a Hey Now hat for
the
video.
That'd be. Anish says no. I want the diamonds.
And we need that, and we need a 0.0%, something with that too. I think. Figure that out.
I think there's a way to make that happen. There's things in the works. We'll just say that. So, new intro on the video. Been working on the past couple days, so a little delayed for getting the videos out. But there will be a recap coming tomorrow from camp. A new intro that Anthony has seen.
Oh man, you guys, this thing is, whew, it's gonna be, it's really good. It's really, really good. I don't want to say too much, but it's, wow.
My wife outdid herself. I will
sure.
give her a lot of credit. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. You get to look forward to the new intro for the videos. But, yeah, that'll be tomorrow, hopefully sometime in the evening, dropping that video and everything for the recap. Other stuff to come, giveaways. Congratulations to Frank. Congratulations for the Jihaad Dotson. I think it was Brendan Leahy, if I'm not mistaken. The last name maybe not pronounced incorrect, but Brendan, congrats to you. I didn't see your comment here, but again, you'll have opportunity for a week. Vincent, thank you. The 2024 recap documentary video was awesome. Appreciate all the vibes and support there. Again, I've also mentioned this in the past. I think I did it on the last live stream, but credit to Anthony for a lot of help there with some research and tips and all the other moments because
Very, very, very small piece of that video.
without
But
I without the fact checking and also going through each week, like that was helping a ton because it's like even watching it, even making it and then going back and watching it, it's still one of those you're like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot about like what so and so said or like what the moment was. So yeah, it's it takes everybody. So appreciate you, Anthony. Appreciate the community. Thank you guys. We're almost 133,000 subscribers now, and football's back. So this thing's just growing. But more giveaways, everything else to come. Everybody have a fantastic night, and you know what it is. Go Birds.